Hey guys, June the 14th, we're down at Tampa Bitcoin Day. I think that's what they called it, right? Bitcoin Day. We've got Charlie Shrem and Courtney here. As you know, Charlie, you guys know Charlie, lifetime Bitcoin player, been in the area a long time. He's got more, I would say, shall we say, interesting stories, both fun and war type stories about Bitcoin. Charlie, welcome. Good to have you, Courtney.
Thank you.
What's it like being in Bitcoin in Tampa in 2025, Charlie? I mean, as you look back.
I feel like a hockey player now in Tampa. You know, like I definitely feel like a local celebrity a lot more now because we're in a bull market. As soon as the bear market comes, I put a mask on and I change. I have a wig, and no one knows who I am.
Well, I think that I see. This is interesting. You say that. You open that up because I think all you old-time Bitcoiners have a lot of PTSD. I think everybody needs to go to therapy.
I am in deep therapy. I do go to therapy.
Well, that's good for you. But like I don't think that I'm gonna ever have to put a mask on again. With the scenario that you described, I don't think we see that in the future. This is a very different market than the one you grew up in. Not that I was there. But I look back on it, and my background is in highly disruptive markets, and it's so obvious to me what's happening here.
But is it out of the can? Is it out of the Pandora's box enough where if there's another administration in a couple of years from now that's not as friendly towards it, it doesn't matter anymore? Like, can it be put back in the box? That's where I get nervous.
Yeah, I don't think you should be worried about that at all. Once you let the alpha out of the bag, and like they should not have. Look, what happened in November with Trump winning, like it or not, I believe accelerated Bitcoin's entire. I mean, you scrunch 6 years. Okay, if we did, by the way, timing's everything, right? If we would have had Trump in office in 2020, Bitcoin would be getting crushed right now. Yeah. I would actually have moved out of the country, and I would not be investing in Bitcoin as an industry. I would be cuddling up all my Bitcoin, holding them, okay? But I would not be building companies. This is an industry now. When you guys were starting, it was a coin and a society, right?
I like this. I like where you're going with it. It was a coin. It was the Coin Society. It's a great name for my book.
Yeah.
Well, Coin Society.
Gary Cardone gave me the idea, but you know what I'm saying? I think that
you're right. It was.
We have a 16-year-old that's just left high school, and he's been. By the way, he's been an Olympian. He's been practicing for the Olympics for 16 years. He's never lost a challenge, and he has been beat up and hammered by every competitor. And at 16 years old, he just got invited through the ETFs into every private great country club on the planet. Tell me a 16-year-old that's been invited to every country club on the planet, every private, awesome, they got all the purses. And dude, I never got, Charlie, you've never been invited. What happens to a champion when they're invited to every country club on planet Earth?
What happens? I don't know.
Dude, I think the guy gets all the intel. He gets everybody floods to him. This is all the old money. Why? Well, he's going to not now perform at 16. He's a super athlete.
Yeah.
Like think about a horse, right? What they call the special horses. You know, the ones the Saudis buy. You know, the $1 million.
The
stallions, right?
Yeah.
Well, a 16-year-old, they literally pay for the sperm, man. A couple of $1 million
Millions
just
of dollars
to go boom
for one time.
We have a stallion that hasn't lost a race.
That's a good point.
Hasn't lost a race, and he's 16, dude. He's competing with 60-year-olds and 45-year-olds.
I never really thought about Bitcoin. It's still so young.
It's so young.
Like this is. I'm going to be the therapist for all the Bitcoin OGs. Okay, gotta get.
I think you'd be the coolest therapist ever.
I'm more work than most of this therapists.
There's definitely a lot of PTSD. There's definitely a lot of like.
Some of it's self-inflicted.
Can't get out of our own way.
Yeah. But you know what? This is an awesome conversation. I've really wanted to have these conversations with the older guys because I actually think you guys and this is not an offense, but you didn't really know what you were doing.
No, absolutely not.
Right?
No, no one did.
There was
Yeah.
no light in the distance that we could follow. We were holding the light
Yeah.
and just
Well,
going.
Even that, every now and then,
Yeah, all
and
over the
run out of
place.
batteries. You know, you're like, hey, I think I see a light over there, and you go check it out.
But it really was a society for so long, and then we kept screwing up. Like, you know, we screwed up into that with Mt. Gox and Silk Road, and with my arrest, and that led to the first bull market. And then we screwed up again with the ICO world in 2016. We kept like kind of screwing up, like kind of kids do. But you're saying like maybe now we're not a kid anymore, and those years are behind us, and we're starting to be young adults.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think, you know, I don't fall on my bicycle every weekend now. I used to.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. I used to get caught for stealing a pair of sunglasses when I was 8, and that happened
Now
to me
you
one
can just
time.
take, yeah.
I'm not stealing anything ever again. Okay, that's a bad thing to do. I had to go tell everybody I stole and swallow
Yeah.
my shame and pay my right. So I make mistakes, and if I don't die, and that's how you become non-fragile, anti-fragile. Bitcoin is becoming more and more, less and less fragile, while the whole world built on pieces of paper and dreams and pencil that can get erased, it's starting to show that it's getting a lot of
Yeah.
gravity and friction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, reminds me back to a conversation I had. I was like 11 or 12 years old. And I asked the rabbi, I was like, how do I know God exists? And he's like, well, we're talking about him, aren't we? And so Bitcoin is continued to exist now, and it's going to continue to be anti-fragile. It's not going to break. Everything else is breaking. Even AI breaks, and places get hacked and things. Like Bitcoin has never had an issue. It's continuing to grow and be this hard money for people. And the beauty of it is like, when you're holding Bitcoin, you're in control of your own destiny, your own future. You make the choice. You can opt in to a business. You can opt into participating in something. And when you're part of that traditional financial system, you kind of don't have that control anymore. You don't have control over what is done with that money.
Courtney, what's your perspective?
I mean, it definitely started as a social experiment because I've seen it since 2013. I don't know if people know, but I did the very first transaction to be accepted in a nightclub in New York City. And that's how I met him. So we got married ever since that happened. But I actually I literally just saw this an alternative payment system and ended up being my entire life. So that's why I'm here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin attracts all types of different people for different reasons.
And it's nice to see now there's more women in the space, because I was saying women are people too, because it used to be a man's world.
You were the only one at the first Bitcoin conference in San Jose. It was like you and like
my very first conference was in San Jose, California, and it was so cool to see all the innovation and so forth, and then to watch it grow from that is just unbelievable.
In the first Bitcoin conference, and we didn't even take up the whole room. And there was Coinbase there, the Winklevoss was there.
You're going to say that about this room one day too. Like next year, the Bitcoin Vegas thing will be 20%, 30% larger. Visa, MasterCard will be there. They'll buy out everything you can possibly imagine. I mean, they're coming, man. Y'all aren't going to like it. You're not going to like their proliferation here.
You got to have some company that does something to get bought up. Position yourself or do something. People that I notice myself whenever I get frustrated or angry or jealous when I see a raise or an exit or someone making money, what I'm saying to myself is like, I know that I could be in that position and I didn't do enough to put myself there. So it's like you said, it's young now. There's going to be exits in the future. There's billions to be made, trillions. There's always more money.
I think there's a bunch of you guys looking at this going, hey, it's 107, man. The opportunity's gone.
Definitely. And I think
that is
the longer you are.
One of you guys, y'all are so wrong, it's ridiculous. And if you think I'm the idiot coming in to like puff up the bags, I think you're wrong. And I think that's the mindset though. Because if you don't understand how markets actually like everyone's, even Jeff Booth just recently said, hey, if it doesn't go if Bitcoin doesn't go peer to peer, man, it's a failure. Well, I like Jeff. I
don't even know what that means.
It's very bright, okay, but it does not say in the white paper that tomorrow morning we're doing peer-to-peer transactions. And by the way, Charlie, why would I waste my Bitcoin to buy a pack of cigarettes unless the merchant gives me a 20 or 30% discount or a house. Give me a damn monster discount, and then maybe I'll trade my Bitcoin. But until then, I'm going to use fiat. I'm using my Bitcoin to buy
You're exactly
chips.
right. And a lot of people are saying, oh, Bitcoin needs to be this money. It's not money again. We have succeeded so far beyond Satoshi's wildest dreams. The only reason Satoshi didn't talk about what if Bitcoin becomes a digital gold and what if we get to where we are today is because he didn't think we'd get here.
Yeah.
We didn't think we'd get here this quickly. He talked about the methods, not the success. Why are we talking about going back to methods? We're needing to use Bitcoin as money is the method to get to where we are today. And so definitely we have succeeded far beyond our wildest dreams. It's really an amazing thing.
See, that you've succeeded beyond your wildest imagination. That tells me that we can't. I mean, I've had 4 of these happen to me, and I remember about 2.5 years ago, I called my mentor up from the energy space, and I said, Steve, because he's still in there. He's the chairman of a monster energy company. He spent his whole life there. Hey, what we were doing, like how I left 20 years later. He said, oh my God, man, I just bought a company for $25 million. And we made $250 million in the first year. And what the point he was trying to make is the energy complex went through this massive deregulation, and then Enron smacked, and everything got stopped. Everyone underestimated the change that 50 to 100 men could make in the energy complex. And he's saying, hey, they're still like 50%. That's 25, 30 years ago.
I didn't really know. Oh, I'm so sorry.
No.
I didn't know I didn't really look at the Enron collapse from a energy perspective before. I've always looked at it from like a Bear Stearns type of like financial collapse.
No.
What effect did it have on the energy industry? I didn't know any of this.
Nothing. Literally not a kilowatt change. This is how I came in so heavy, because we literally took natural gas and electricity and turned it into a 30-minute commodity. And all the oil and gas producers and utilities said, no, you can't do that. We need 30-year contracts to do all this heavy transforming investment and all the capex. I mean, just pipelines and grids. Reagan came in and said, you guys have been making money forever, dude. Like these are highways now. Like Google is a freaking highway. They should not be able to strip 33% out of you for a fee just because your content on their platform, I give you $100 and they grab $33.
Yeah,
if you did that on a highway, it would be like extortion.
Yeah.
Okay, if you did that with ExxonMobil, you need some gasoline tomorrow morning and they're going to charge you 33%, you would be like, I'm riding. Google does it every day to everyone.
Same thing with insurance. There's certain like rules around
insurance. One of the biggest businesses that's going to move to Bitcoin is insurance.
I think so too, very much so. Especially Florida, we have the biggest issues, and I think someone is going to need to figure this out.
I'm talking life insurance.
Insurance?
It doesn't have to be catastrophic, but life insurance with annuities.
There's a guy who's launching that, who's doing the life insurance with annuities. It's like Bitcoin life insurance.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No, I think it makes
my podcast.
It makes a lot of sense, man. I mean, an annuity stream's just
it's like you still get to own the Bitcoin too. You just can't use it for anything. But it's really interesting.
Yeah, but for a guy that's got kids, I don't have to buy insurance from State Farm. Here you go, sweetie. Here's Bitcoin. Smash, okay. But imagine an insurance company that gets these distributions and they're putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet, and they're going to be able to pay out. They're going to be able to pay out in 20 or 30 years. I don't even know if my insurance company is going to be able to pay out. It could be broke.
That's the worst part about it.
Totally,
you don't know
it's bullshit, right?
Yeah.
30, 40 year insurance.
And then you'll see like the Bitcoin in these treasury companies, when they go through bankruptcy, you'll probably see laws come out where like Bitcoin gets directly tethered to the actual user so if that insurance company went bankrupt at some point, you as a policyholder will always know that Bitcoin is tied to you.
Right.
And there'll be good American case law around that. We saw that with a lot of the bankruptcies.
Or they'll just be Bitcoin companies that farm their own insurance companies and then go attack the fiat.
Tether's just going to buy them all. It's so big.
What we're going to finish up here, but what's your closing comment about where we are, where we're going? What do you guys think?
What do you think? You have any thoughts?
Hold on.
Hold on. Hold on tight.
Hodl for life.
I do want to say it's like now's the time to be starting a business in Bitcoin and crypto. It's not when like the bull market had first started because there's too much like noise and craziness. But now things have kind of like died down a little bit. Prices are still elevated. You know, we don't know if prices are going to continue going up or like chill for a while, where they're going to go. But I just feel like it's a really good time. Summertime too, you know, just a good time to raise money and start a good Bitcoin and crypto business. Just have a good feeling about it. June 2025.
Yeah,
Mark my
I'm
words.
with you, man.
Let's do it.
I'm with you. It's going to be, I think there'll be a lot of losers. There'll be
Yeah,
a
it's
lot
okay.
of
I
winners.
lost a lot.
There'll be a lot of people experimenting with things. That's what makes a really healthy market. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Good to have you guys. I really appreciate
Yes.
you guys being
Thanks for having us.
part
Very
of the
nice to meet you.
The Tampa anchor.
Yes, for sure.